Welcome, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. We are back in the temple again. Yeah, I'll clap that. Woo! So Cantor Doug sings, and Cantor Doug was intending to sing that here, and would have done it had he been able to be here tonight. But as we know, and as our biblical ancestor Noah discovered, we read that parasha, that Torah portion this week, as our biblical ancestor Noah discovered, no matter how much warning we are given, like God telling you a flood is coming, we are never quite prepared when the time actually comes. So Cantor Doug's brother Lanny died yesterday, and thankfully, because of the generosity and the core values of kindness and compassion in this congregation, Cantor Doug was able to spend the week at Lanny's bedside, and we send our love and condolences to him and Gail and their family. And we return into this building, remembering again that we must accept the fact that more is out of our control than in it. And so any chance we get, we need to praise, we need to thank, we need to sing, Shehecheyanu. Our prayer for when we reach certain moments, special moments, for the absolute first time or the first time in a long time. Shehecheyanu, we say we are here. Shehecheyanu, we say we are alive. Shehecheyanu, we say thank you to the Holy One of blessing for giving us life, for keeping us in life, and for bringing us to this joyous, special occasion. For those of you who know it, please sing Shehecheyanu with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
So as this pandemic and the flood of related problems it brings and challenges begins to recede, some of us might feel like Noah, our biblical ancestor, who after 40 days and nights on that ark once again stood where he wanted to, on dry land. Will we, like Noah, celebrate with abandon, putting this all behind us and just looking forward with a fresh new start? Will we raise up a Kiddush cup to sanctify the moment, to praise the praiseworthy one, and then move on and return to our routines that we once enjoyed or endured? Noah, in this week's parashah, did just that. After 40 days and nights in that God-designed, God-awful ark, imagine it, the first thing he did was plant a vineyard. And when the grapes were ripe, Noah fermented them and produced wine. And answering our questions of how he really was doing after holding up, how he was really holding up following the stress of building the ark and collecting, protecting, and feeding the animals, and caring for his family along the way. What did Noah do? He drank that wine with abandon, got naked, and soon enough was cursing one of his kids. Yep, the chosen one, the one chosen by the Holy One to repopulate the pristine, cleaned up earth, violently cursed his son Ham and Ham's descendants for what was essentially an act of compassion, covering up the nakedness of his father. And so, in the time it took to raise up and drink a cup of Cabernet, Noah brought hate and enmity back into our recently cleansed world. We recognize that our supposed clean slate, humanity's fabulous fresh start, was marred because, as my wife often reminds our children and me, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, you bring your whole self. Wherever you go, there you are. Michelle, my wife, means that we carry with us all of our pressures and problems, our best and worst tendencies too. You remember, some of you, on the high holidays, Erev Rosh Hashanah, Rabbi Julia Weiss told a beautiful story. I think we sent it out today with the newsletter, on the story about carrying a cup of coffee, and then someone bumps into you and it spills out the coffee. And why did the coffee spill? Not because someone bumped into us, but because there was coffee in the cup. Had there been tea in the cup, tea would have spilled out. Meaning that whatever we fill our cups with, whatever we pour into our hearts and souls, whatever we bring into our synagogue, that's what will pour out when we get shaken or knocked around. Wherever we go, there we are. Among Noah's best moves in the ark was to do what? To bring his wife with him. His wife is not named in the Torah, but the rabbis of the Talmud call her Na'amah, meaning pleasant or kind. According to the Midrash, those rabbinic stories that fill in the spaces in the text, what did Na'amah do before the rains came? She collected all kinds of seeds from all over creation to purposely replant and repopulate the renewed creation with the most fruitful and flavorful of God's vegetative creations. Na'amah knew that, left to chance, our relocation might be marred by our innate inclinations. That Yetzer Hara, that inclination for egotism, that inclination to take for ourselves, only ourselves, what we think we must have, or more, what we deserve. So Na'amah brought enough seeds to repopulate the earth for everyone, so that all the animals and all the humans could feed themselves and each other, instead of being forced to fend off each other when they went to fend for themselves. Think about it. If you were Na'amah and you had a clean slate, a fresh start, a do-over, what would you do? Would it be collecting the seeds or what? I asked that to some of my friends on my Facebook page. And boy, did we got like 50 answers. And their answers were spread all over the spectrum of life. If I had a do-over, a clean slate, someone said, I would be more patient. Or I would try to be less afraid. I'd try to go here or do this, spend more time with my kids, give more to others. One of my Facebook friends, Emily, she said that, whoa, there really is no clean slates, because wherever we go, there we are. Rather, we don't get fresh, clean slates, but we get fresh starts. Fresh opportunities to start again, learning from the many mistakes we have made in the past, the mitzvahs we have manifested, and the lessons we learn that help us differentiate between the mistakes and the mitzvahs. Now, were I, Paul Kipnes, God, none of this would be a problem. Because the way I would have created the world, we would all have free will, but it would all turn out okay. Our predilections, our problems, they would all turn out okay. But no one made me God. At least not yet. Yeah, that's what's better in my head. Michelle told me to cross that one out. But anyways, but I asked my Facebook friends what they would do if they were God. How would they do creation differently? And oh my God, their answers were amazing. Some talked about not creating mosquitoes or cockroaches. That was the New Yorker and the people who live in the backyard with the mosquitoes. Others talked about doubling down on humility and patience. But one friend said, wouldn't it be nice if there was a novel creation, a tree of kindness and compassion? Wouldn't it be nice if kindness was embedded into the core of being human? So making sure that after eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, we humans would have been guided to that tree, the tree of kindness and compassion. before we went out of the garden. Imagine what that would have done to our world if embedded into our very creation narrative was kindness and compassion at the core of what it meant to be human. Im tirtzu ein zo agada, as Theodore Herzl said in another context, if you will it, it need not be a dream alone. So we're back in the synagogue. Can we all dream together for a second? When we come back into the synagogue, our little world, our wonderful community congregation, or Ami, we need to recreate it. Like Naamah and Noah, we are returning here with an opportunity to make different choices. We bring ourselves with us, but what will we do when we're here? Let's take a look, deep looks at the edges of our communal culture to ensure that we do not return completely to what was. A community that is wonderful in so many ways, yet like the state of the country around us, still exercises sometimes a power to exclude others, to let politics divide us, and let personal power plays harm us. Instead, let's remember Rabbi Julia's story and plant, like Naamah, a new reality, pour it into ourselves. As we return to this Or Ami, our sanctuary of kindness, what should be a safe Jewish community for today, for so many of us, our second home, let's imagine that the mezuzah on the doorpost when we walk in is a portal to the tree of knowledge. Not the tree of knowledge, but to the tree of kindness and compassion. Upon entering and leaving, maybe we will touch it. Maybe spritzing some stuff on our hands first, but we will touch it. Perhaps beforehand, kissing, or afterwards. Perhaps even wiping it on our eyelids. Why? So that kindness and compassion fills us. Let these mezuzot, filled with scrolls of Torah, remind us of the interconnected oneness of one another. And let those actions now affect the way we live in our community and our world, so that our temple returning temperaments will confirm a shared commitment to kindness and compassion. May they goad us to open our arms and homes more widely, inviting both those in our circle of friends, and also those who are just outside that close circle of friends. May they urge us to uncover our most ugly urges so that we overcome them. May it allow us to embrace both those who seem so much like us and those who seem to be different from us. May they push us to pause before we condemn those whose political opinions are different than our own, even as they propel us to condemn the unjust and intolerant policies and platform planks of our own political parties and our own politicians, because everyone has them, and they're rising up, and we have to call our own out, and then we can call the others out. Let us not be like Noah, who got drunk on his own success, and the worst elements of his inner turmoil came out. Let's be like Naamah, gathering up seeds of solace and support, planting orchards of openness and awe, and embracing the diversity of God's human creations. Let's let Torah shine its light into our lives and into our community. And let's bring all of that with us, our renewed commitment to kindness and compassion, to openness and awe, each and every time we return to this sanctuary. That, my friends, would truly pour forth peace into this home. Peace in our home.